members of cabinet, the members of the Central Executive Committee of the NRM Party, the Secretary General, the honorable members of Parliament.
Sorry, I had to steal the microphone from him because when he starts, I won't be having any other opportunity. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker and Right Honorable Prime Minister, we have members of Parliament who joined us later, have come. I request we waive. We can stand up for people to see us because we are many. All of us members of Parliament, even those, it's very, very important. I can see Honorable Sanon, I can see Haji Idi. Yes, I can see Honorable Kad. So there are very many. I felt it's very important for people to know members of Parliament are here. And colleagues, thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, since you have asked members of Parliament to stand up, let me also request members of the SEC to stand up, since ministers have already been here. The Central Executive, Honorable Jim Mwenzi, with the Honorable Lydia Wanyoto, chairs the Women, the Right Honorable Secretary General, the Secretary General, Honorable Rukari, he chairs the Entrepreneurs League, and I'm also the government chief whip, chairs the Parliamentary League, the chair of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus, and myself, I'm the vice chair for Western Region. And of course, as you know, Right Honorable Jacob Walanya was the vice chair for Northern Uganda. I add my voice to those who have spoken to convey condolences to all of us, because Jacob was our colleague, he was our friend, and he touched on the lives of many, and we shall dearly miss him. When Adolf the clerk was listing those who were in Mitchell Hall, I think I joined in Mitchell Hall when your team was completing. That was 1990. Because for you joined in 1988. So when I joined in 1990, you were completing, but Jacob was the guild speaker, and Mao, Chairman Mao, was the guild president. And we loved them for their oratory skills. They could talk and electrify the students' community in Makerere. And I was also in Mitchell Hall. And that's how I came to know Jacob Olanya. He later joined Parliament, like it has already been said, in 2001, but the voters sent him on some sabbatical leave in the 8th Parliament. And during the 8th Parliament, where we also got close, was that when he was out of Parliament for that term, there was a discussion at UBC called Ground Zero, where I was a panelist, which was there every Saturday, and Jacob was the speaker or the moderator of that panel discussion, and we used to meet there every Saturday. Later on, when he became a Speaker of Parliament, Deputy First, he told me, why don't you become an information minister? Because he used to inform us at the Ground Zero when I was the Speaker of that Ground Zero, Chimeza, if you can call it. And later on, he came back to Parliament. We elected him Deputy Speaker. I became a parliamentary commissioner, and we worked together in the commission very closely. Now, you know, when you look at his size, him, myself, and Honorable Dombo, we are vertically and horizontally advantaged in size. So one time, Right Honorable Mbabazi, who was the used to get scared of us. What time we asked, how can the commission have these 3 big giants? And we would tease him, Right Honorable, aware of Parliament. If our brains fail, we shall go physical, and then we would laugh it off. Very closely, when he was a deputy speaker in the commission, we did many great things for Parliament, and went through ups and downs, parliamentary life, there in the Parliament of Uganda. And later on, we chose to contest because we sat and said, why don't we go for these positions to sit in the Central Executive Committee and make a contribution? But we were scared because we were saying, but from Achoi, how will I go to Chigezi, Abachiga? And I was also equally saying, how will I go to Western Nile, Karamoja? So we sat and agreed with him and Honorable Chiwanda. So now, for him, he was very busy as deputy speaker. He could not move with us everywhere. But we agreed, where you go, you mention us. Where we go, we mention you. So we started from the west, we began from the north. And we crisscrossed the country because this type of election was under COVID. So we were not in but we went to different districts, campaigned for each other. When I went to Kampala, Chigezi, talked about Orania. Similarly, when he was in the West Nile, he would talk about us. I moved with Honorable Chiwanda, the vice for Uganda, and we also had the Mukura for East. So we had our team which was talking for the other. And fortunately, all of us won. And those who sit in SEC, you know how we coordinate our efforts within the Central Executive Committee. So we have lost a very great friend. A very great friend. I had my voice that we remain united as a parliament, and we pray that God gives us the wisdom and comfort to remain united so that we continue representing the people of Uganda. The Prime Minister will shortly be coming to address us, but I just want to say tomorrow Cabinet shall be sitting, and the law provides for how the future arrangements of the Speaker are handled, and there are statutory decisions which have to be done by Cabinet. And since the President shall be in the chair, I think we shall have a discussion, and the executive arm of government shall work closely with the Parliament, the family, the NRM party to arrange the final send-off. We convey our greeting, our condolences to people from Acholi, northern Uganda, where our brother was a member of Parliament and vice chair of the region for NRM. Condole with you, members of Parliament, and indeed all Ugandans, because Jacob was a very great leader, not only in Uganda, but felt across the whole world. We pray that the good Lord receives him and grants him eternal rest and continues to comfort and strengthen members of his family. Honorable Bahat challenged us Proverbs, and for me I will go to chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. That when we see all these things happen, we should put our trust in God. That trust, let's put our trust in God with all our heart, and we should not lean on our own understanding. And that in all our ways, we should acknowledge Him, and He will protect our path. So let death challenge us, all of us, to put trust in the Lord, because in any case, all of us, that's the journey we have to take when we are on earth. With those few remarks, I take the opportunity and the honor to invite the Right Honorable Prime Minister to come and give us her remarks. Thank you very much.
The Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Secretary General, NRM, Honorable Ministers, our clergy, our members of Parliament, relatives, the family, and all of you friends of Jacob. I don't think I have much to say, but I will just mention a few things. One, I'm one of those people who nominated Jacob Olanya in 2011. Since that time, I became a member of this family. He had not prepared anybody to nominate him. For him, he said, God was in charge. Like other people lobbied, he had not lobbied anybody to become deputy speaker. I remember I was seated next to Jim Muwezi. Do you remember Jim? And Jim had told me I also want. So when the president, because I was just a small woman, I raised up my hand. When the president chose me, Jim said, I also want. But inside my heart, I had Jacob Olanya. And Jacob Olanya had not even told me that I nominate him. I just put his name. And I had everybody clapping. Then my brother, Tinka Simire Barnabas, nominated our brother, Nuaga. Then we went into the race. And you know how aggressive I am. So I was looking after Olanya's vote like there was no tomorrow. We nearly fought with my brother Barnabas. Then when he became deputy speaker, he nominated me to represent this country in ACP EU. So whenever I would go with Cecily Ogwang, with the Honorable Rosa Cole, there is Bihande and many others. One thing he wanted us to talk about as a country, when we are here, we don't speak against the government. Have you heard? He was then telling my sister, Cecily Ogwang. And whenever I would go out of the country, this is when he was the chair of that Pan-African, that ACPEU. I was looking at him chairing. Oh, a very knowledgeable man. Then, one day, I became a commissioner of parliament, like my brother Ogwanga has said. After 2.5 years, SEC had decided that we be given another term. But there were some challenges, you remember? So, after some time, he called me at 3. I said, He says, I think I will never forgive myself. You nominated me when I didn't know you. God has brought this time. Let us go to the house tomorrow, mobilize. And I finish this issue here. I said, but we manage. Inside my heart, we were stuck by the way the commission for like 6 months. Yes. But this is the man who had solutions for everything, by the way. Now when I became Prime Minister, first of all when I became a Minister for Health, he called me and laughed. I said, you're a Minister of Health. I said, my brother, God knows. Then he told me 2 things. Never get a hammer. I want you to note this word. Never get a hammer to kill a mosquito. Never get a hammer to kill a mosquito. I said, what do you mean? He says, now you have started being a big woman. Never victimize anybody. Never in your life. 2, even even everybody on earth matters. Even the small people mattered. That was the time when we had she was on the floor of Parliament. We were talking about no dengue disease. I will never forget that day. She had 75 million. Do you remember that? You had only 75 million, or you wanted 1.5 billion from government. This is a man who would speak his heart, despite the fact that he was holding a very powerful position. And he was the one in the chair. But I remember the way he negated, and he did not at any time insult anybody. And he got what he wanted. So there are a lot of things we can learn from Olanya. The other day, he called me some time back, very recent. I said, but Robin, I'm told you have issues in the house. I beg of you. You know I'm a hard-working person. I'm unable to come to the house. Learn how to work with your sister. My sister, Olanya, directed me to work with you. I wanted to call again, then he did not answer, then the phone was off. I did not have a chance to talk to him again. He told me, learn how to work with your sister. I'm speaking this with a lot of grief, because when I was made Prime Minister, a speaker and the Prime Minister must work together to come up with the order paper, to come to do this and this, because the government must work. My sister, Olanya directed that we must work together at whatever cost. Then lastly, Uganda has lost. Actually has lost. Little did you know that all of us were there because of him. Did you know? All of us are what we are because of Olanya. I don't know how many times I hosted him in Kakumiro and Greater Chivali. It is when I was almost losing my direction. I wanted to have a district of Kakumiro and Kagati. The president invited him. Fortunately, we had gone to Achitula. Then he gave him a task. Because the president thought I was losing the track. Remember that time, those of you were with me, Bahati, remember? I remember you put in this district. People of Rwanda should really one day call us and say Nabanja and my brother Bahati. The reason we have that district called Uganda is because the president wanted to solve my problem of having a district. Then Bahati said, I'm a minister of finance, I'm now here. What will the people of Uganda tell me? Then Olanya said, now, what will the people of Omoro? I can't preside over the house without Omoro. So that's how we got 4 districts. You get what I'm talking about? He has always fought for his people. When we have positions of leadership, colleagues, let us think about our people. He has always thought about those people of Omoro. He has always thought about Uganda. 1 or 2 words he would think about service delivery. He called me when I became Prime Minister in his office. He says, my sister, you are now Prime Minister. Are you aware that the lives of Ugandans are in your hands and my hands? And that we have to deliver? We must make things work. Colleagues, Olanya wanted us to make things work. But God has not allowed him to do it. My sister, we have to bore a leaf of our brother, timekeeping, honesty. There is when we had the anti-corruption run. Remember his words when he said, all of us here are not innocent. In the presence of the president, all of us here are not. That honesty. Let us be honest Let us serve our people, colleagues, such that our brother can rest in peace, because he wanted us to do that. All of us. My sister, I know you have tried your best. I know he has been guiding you and me to move this country forward, and that has been his dream. He wanted us to eradicate poverty in northern Uganda. Whenever he would meet me, now that we have the parish model, how best we, all of us, you and me, my brother, the Secretary General, how do we help him to deliver that promise he made to the people of northern Uganda? I think let us remain united the way he has been uniting us. Let us pray that God gives him eternal peace for God and my country. My sister, come. But thank you. Welcome back. And all of you, welcome back. Thank you so much.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister, Right Honorable Secretary General, the ministers who are around, members of Parliament, the monarchs, the church. I want to thank God for today, that we've been able to come here and be with the Jacob's family. There is one friend Jacob would always tell me every morning, have you talked to Kalisa? Kalisa, just stand up. That was Jacob's friend. Every morning would ask me, have you talked to Kalisa? And I would wonder why he would ask me to talk to Kalisa. My sister Robina, I am happy, and I can promise you we'll work together for the good of Jacob. And I'm also happy that you went by Jacob's word. Jacob called you when you were in your office, walk to my deputy's office, and you had to walk to come there. I am happy you came, and we'll work together. I have walked the journey with Jacob from 24th May last year. I have walked the journey with that boy, that brother of mine, that friend of mine, and that boss of mine. I was thrown in an ocean where I didn't know how to swim. The first thing Jacob called me was, can you chair that session tomorrow of approving the Vice President and the Prime Minister? I told him I have no choice. I had to maneuver to approve Robina and Jessica. From nowhere, he kept on phone asking me, have you managed? I said, I've managed. He said, God is good. We should never leave a virtue. I had never chaired a house, but I have chaired a house from May to the last, up to 15th. 74 sessions. But I did not at any one time get annoyed and say maybe I am overworked. My interest was, is Jacob okay? I would talk to Jacob morning, afternoon, evening, and ask him, Jacob, fine. The day when we were traveling to Seattle, I had a choice to make. Immediately we reached Dubai. I get a call from the university that my son got an emergency and needed an operation. I told Dr. Chen, for Jacob, let the boy take care of himself. I called Dr. Andrew, the husband to Dr. Chen, and told Dr. Andrew, be in touch with my son As for me, I'm for Jacob. I abandoned my son for Jacob. I have loved boss. I have never seen a boss like Jacob. A person who gives you all the time to do what you can do. The only thing I missed out of Jacob is leadership. I miss the mentor because most of the time Jacob was out of parliament. When I went and saw Jacob, first of all, when we came here, me and Honorable Ogwang, and God, Jacob was down, we took him to the hospital. I looked for CJ, could not get CJ, called Mapendusi, get for me CJ immediately. We took Jacob there. When he tried to recover, I asked, Jacob, tell me what you miss most. He said, well, disturbing me. I said, I see your dimple. I want to see the smile out of you. He smiled and said, I miss putting on my bow tie. I miss putting on my suit. I miss I miss the rules of parliament, rules of procedure. I told Jacob, now when you come back, when you get, I will make you the chairperson of rules. We just laughed it off. But if you've never worked with a boss who likes harmony, a boss of value, then you miss working with Jacob. Jacob is one person who would always want everybody to be free in whatever he was doing. Before he would go to the house, he would ask me, do you want to go to the house? Then I would ask him, do you want to go to the house? And he would agree. He was my boss. He would always agree on whatever we are doing. He had respect. He would respect everybody. And I want to ask one thing. If there is anybody Jacob hurt, forgive Jacob. Forgive him. We will forever miss Jacob. May his soul receive eternal peace.
Mourners, it's indeed a devastating period. All of us are going through this painful moment. It is only God and God alone that we will all run to. I will now ask the chaplain to take over, but before I invite her, let me recognize the presence of the Reverend Dr. Semambo Patrick. He is the Chancellor of Zoe Life Theological College, where the Right Honorable Jacob Olanya got his PhD.
Now, those were just some of the speeches by the different political leaders and the ministers at a vigil at the home of the late Jacob Olanya, who was the Speaker of Parliament going on in Muyenga, Kampala now. He's been described as many things. A nationalist he is, and he taught others to value the value of tolerance under a lot of pressure. He was also described as a leader and comrade whose value was indescribable and would be deeply missed. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ruth Cheng, who was in the U.S. till his last days, spoke about the fact that the Speaker had to be treated in the United States, saying that he required specialized treatment that was only available in 3 parts of the world. She revealed that at the time of his passing, he unfortunately had not yet received the treatment, as he was only being stabilized by the medical practitioners. Now, the Defense Minister, Major General Muhwezi, eulogized him as one of Uganda's best leaders. Having met him in 2001 in Parliament, he described him as a man who stood out in 2005 as the chair of the Legal Parliamentary Committee, and despite being in the opposition at that time, he supported the amendments in the interest of the nation. An intelligent, witty and very humorous man he has been described. General Muhwezi spoke of the legacy left behind despite his young age, having passed on at the age of 55. Now, the Right Honourable Prime Minister Robina Nabbanja spoke of her nomination by Jacob Oulanyah in 2011 to the position of Deputy Speaker in the 8th Parliament. He will be remembered, she said, as a man of great knowledge and one who encouraged that unity was to be maintained in spaces where the government was being represented regardless. He had a solution for literally everything and called for respect for even the least of people. These are just some of the eulogies coming through in respect to the late Jacob Oulanyah. We now join our Gulu Bureau Chief, Benson Ongom, coming to us live from Gulu. Over to you, Benson. How has this news been received in the northern region?
Rogushana, Uganda is mourning, but northern Uganda is weeping. A lot of reactions that is coming in from this part of the region, and it's a sad moment indeed. From reading the social media pages of WhatsApp, on Facebook, you could really tell how the people of northern Uganda, specifically the people of Acholi sub-region, are feeling. There's been a lot of speculations on the life of Jacob Oulanyah for the past 2 weeks. We have had different leaders come to talk to the people of Acholi sub-region, telling them that Jacob Oulanyah is improving. The last message that came was from the traditional institution of Acholi, which is Kekwaro, and we had the Prime Minister definitely talking tough about the life of Jacob Oulanyah and people to pray with him. And very many people have been asking questions about his life, and I think today the speculations and the rumor, God forbid, came to become true. So the very many reactions that are coming. I was in West Nile part in this afternoon. I was in Nebi and Pakwach, and definitely could see the reactions from people speaking to some of the leaders from West Nile this afternoon. That you could really tell how they love Jacob Oulanyah as the NRM SEC member from this part of the region, northern Uganda. And they're definitely saying about some of the division that was in the party before, and how Jacob coming to be the SEC member and representing northern Uganda brought a lot of hope, brought a lot of unity. Remember, Jacob, shortly after returning from his illness, he did visit all this region, Acholi sub-region, West Nile sub-region, and Lao sub-region. Is consolidation of the party that he represents. But also in Acholi sub-region, you have had the Deputy Speaker, we have had the Minister speak about Jacob's love for the people of Acholi sub-region. I remember vividly on the day that the late General Lukecho was being buried, he spoke tough. He spoke about the love, the unity of a tribe called Acholi, and he actually called on the people of Acholi that, do you have your God? And I think that is so many things that people remember Jacob off. And I can tell you this afternoon there have been a lot of meetings that have been taking place in this part of the region. You know, more our ears are on ground, and we have been told there's a meeting that happened today, and there's a meeting again happening tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the morning, and I've been told the families and the relatives that gathered there, and a lot of members from the leadership of Acholi sub-region, Kidgum and other parts of this place are in Pade, and they will be attending that meeting. So Kushana is a sad moment. Personally, I remember Jacob as a smiling one. The last interview I had with him, we spoke about the issue of environmental violence, and you could tell the smile, you could tell his wishes for this part of the region. It's a great loss, and people are mourning Rukushana.
Much Benson, it is indeed a sad time now. Local residents and leaders of Lango Sub-region have described the late Jacob Olanyo, the former Speaker of Parliament, as a brave and honest leader who made deliberate effort towards development. Now, some leaders say even at a time when most leaders shy away from speaking or voicing the concerns of the communities, Olanyo remained tolerant and sided with the oppressed. We now join our correspondent in Lira, Isaac Otwi, to share the thoughts of the people from the Lango region. Over to you, Isaac.
Well, the last time that the former speaker was here in Lira was late last year, and the reason for his coming here was to make peace, to unite the leadership of NRM that were said to be divided. But also what I do remember is that before that he had come to Lira City to launch the construction of the Lango Palace. And all his words were just full of peace and unity. And he's someone who have been talking so much about preserving the culture of Lango. He has been comparing it with the culture of Acholi, and also asking the leadership of Lango, because now we did had two leaders, and all along what he has been saying was, please come together, let's embrace unity and develop our region. We have seen how he contributed towards strengthening his party, and also when he stood up at Chankwazi, that was in May last year, to talk about the issue of cattle compensation. When some leaders were telling the president that only a section of people should be compensated, but he stood on ground and he did told the president that all the people in northern Uganda who lost their cattle should be compensated. The words, just a few of the words that the leaders and the locals in Lango Sub-region have described him as an honest person, a kind of a leader that will be hard to replace for the people of northern Uganda. Back to you at the Political Command Center.
Thank you very much, Isaac Otwi. Now we head to Arua, where our correspondent will also give us a brief on what it is like right there.
Yes, it's a sad day today, and here in Western Sub-region, it is so damp. Here with me, I have the area MP, Arua Central Division, that is Lee Booty Jackson, and he's going to let us in on how he has known the late Jacob Olanyo. How are you feeling?
So sad, broken-hearted, when the people of West Nile, the people of Arua City, the people of Central Division that I represent got the news of the demise of our beloved Speaker, our beloved SEC member, Vice Chair of NRM Northern Uganda, my personal friend, that he has gone to be with the Lord. The region has been throughout the day in darkness, and people are mourning, people have called. On behalf of the people of West Nile region, on behalf of the people of Central, and on my own behalf, I join His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, I join the Parliament of Uganda, I join the people of Acholi sub-region, I join the people of Omoro County, and I join all mourners in this trying moment to say that this is a testing moment for the people of northern Uganda. I got to know late Right Honorable Jacob Olanyo some time back, but closely when he was canvassing votes to become our vice chair for northern Uganda. And the first time I met him and had one-on-one, he looked a brilliant leader, he looked eloquent, he looked committed, he looked transparent. And indeed, with all those attributes, we rallied our support as West Nile for him, and indeed he became our vice chair. And when we were voted in as members of parliament, we continue with that support, and we voted him in as our speaker. while in that parliament, he has been so passionate about how business in that parliament should be run. He nurtured us. He told us the debate in this parliament is by research. You have to present evidence-based presentation. So he is that knowledgeable person with the law who started steering this parliament very, very well. Indeed, as a country, as Northern Uganda, as West Nile, we will miss Ladit, Right Honorable Speaker Jacob Oulanyah.
Okay.
And as a person, I will remember him for certain things. One, his love for people, his patience in handling things, his dedication, his honesty, and lastly, the way passionately he loved me by giving me a specific name, Le, every time he sees me, he shouts with that name. I'll remember Ladit.
Okay, our time is fast spent, and this is a big loss. What we can say is rest in eternal peace. Back to you at the Political Command Center.
That was the Arua Central Division Member of Parliament, Timothy Jackson, joining the rest of Ugandans to mourn the passing of the Speaker of the 11th Parliament and Vice Chairperson of the NRM Northern Region, Jacob Oulanyah. We now head to Muyenga, which was the residence of the now deceased Jacob Oulanyah, and joining us is Canary Mugome. Over to you, Canary.
Thank you very much, Shana. Well, what is happening here are prayers for the deceased Jacob Oulanyah. Earlier on, of course, we had the Prime Minister here and the Deputy Speaker, Anita Mong, of course, in the company of a number of members of Parliament and the ministers from Cabinet. We also had, of course, leaders from the NRM party and other friends of Jacob Oulanyah, who really described him as a very, very loyal cadre to the NRM party, but also a very hardworking person. The Prime Minister, announced here that, of course, as plans go on, Cabinet is going to sit tomorrow to be able to decide on the burial arrangements of Jacob Oulanyah. Was also repeated by, of course, the Information Minister, that is Chris Baryomunsi. When the Deputy Speaker actually got to the microphone to say a few words about Jacob Oulanyah, her former boss, she couldn't hold it, but actually broke into tears. So everyone here just praying for the soul of Jacob Oulanyah. And now we will be expecting to hear from Cabinet tomorrow when it sits, convened by the President, to be able to decide on the burial arrangement of Jacob Oulanyah at his ancestral home. The other details really be bringing as they do happen, but of course we had a number of members of Parliament who were really friends with Jacob Oulanyah, Peter Gwang, who really described him as a very hardworking man and asked anyone if there's anyone out there who actually was wronged by Jacob Oulanyah to forgive him. And also we had a speech from Minister David Bahati, who described Jacob as a loyal cadre, and also Frank Tumwebaze, who was here also earlier, the Minister for Agriculture and also Member of Parliament, describing Jacob Oulanyah as a man who really loved to make friends and a man of the people. He was really in much pain, and described Oulanyah as a man who tolerated everyone. So we're here for tomorrow when Cabinet sits. We'll be getting more information on the burial plans, but for now we're still here praying for the soul of Jacob Oulanyah at his residence here in Muyenga. Back to you, Shana.
Thank you very much, Canary. The big but rather tragic story tonight is that the Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah, is dead. Oulanyah passed away at a hospital in Seattle, US, where he has been battling an undisclosed illness. His death was announced by President Yoweri Museveni through his official Twitter account. These are the details.
Countrymen and countrywomen, it is with a lot of sadness that I announce the death of the Right Honourable Jacob Oulanyah, the Speaker of Parliament. President Museveni tweeted on his account. Olanya's death, shocking as it is, came when the country had been enveloped in rumors and suspicion about his state of health. Olanya, who has been Speaker of the 11th Parliament for 9 months, served as the Deputy Speaker for 10 years and has been in Parliament since 2001. But a couple of months after being elected Speaker, his health condition worsened and was rushed to Mulago and later to the US, where he breathed his last.
Jacob Olanya, who for some days and months has been down receiving treatment. Unfortunately, he was pronounced dead. He could not make it, and we convey our condolences.
The 56-year-old hardly chaired any parliamentary sittings due to ill health, leaving his deputy Anita Among to steer most of the sittings. On Tuesday last week, the Democratic Party President Norbert Mao, alongside Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny-Dollo, Deputy Speaker Anita Among, Dr. John Ruthacheng, the Minister of Health, and Olanya's brother Francis Emuna hastily flew to Seattle in the United States of America to check on him, where he was indisposed since February 4th, 2021. Both Mao and the Deputy Speaker, through their Twitter accounts, dismissed social media claims that Olanya had died. They in fact stated that he was responding to treatment.
Jacob is going to be buried according to the Parliamentary Pension Act, Schedule 4, Part C and D, which provides for the process of burying a speaker. I want us to remain calm in order for us to give a befitting burial to our brother. His body will be flown in the country soon. The President of the Republic of Uganda will be announcing other burial arrangements.
Described by many as an eloquent speaker, Olanya chaired the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee that controversially recommended the removal of term limits that allowed President Museveni to stand again in 2006. The opposition accused him of being a sellout, and after he lost his Omoro County seat in 2006, Olanya officially crossed from UPC to NRM. But he bounced back to Parliament in 2011 and was elected Deputy Speaker, deputizing Rebecca Kadaga, the Kamuli woman Member of Parliament.
By the moment he became a Deputy Speaker and then subsequently a Speaker, strictly he would enter the chambers at 2 p.m. as scheduled. So it was a very strict and very religious when it comes to timekeeping, which is a very big value, and that was a very big asset in terms of parliamentary work.
In 2016, he toyed with the idea of contesting for the speakership, but was convinced to stand down for Kadaga by President Museveni during a heated NRM caucus meeting at Entebbe. Baryomunsi, who served with Jacob from Makerere University as their guild speaker, notes that the country has lost a committed soul and will dearly miss his services.
He was a dedicated and committed member of Parliament who, even when he was busy as a speaker, he always found time to lobby for his constituents and also go on the ground and be with his people. Very committed.
Olanya was elected Speaker of Parliament on 24th May 2021. He later flew out of the country, where he spent 1.5 months after presiding over the reading of the 2021-2022 financial year budget. Olanya then disappeared from the public eye for a month, all in the quest of fighting for his life. Alex Mugasha, Henry Mugenyi, NBS, Live at 9.
Now, the Ugandan agricultural economist, lawyer and politician served as the Speaker of the 11th Parliament, having been elected into the position on the 24th of May 2021 after defeating former Speaker Rebecca Ali-Twala Kadaga. He has been described by many as a great leader and so much more.
Jacob Lokori Olanya was a Ugandan agricultural economist, lawyer and politician who served as a Speaker of the 11th Parliament of Uganda from 2021 He was elected to that position on the 24th of May 2021 after defeating the former Speaker Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga. He served as Deputy Speaker of the Ugandan Parliament from May 2011 until May 2021. Olanya was also the Member of Parliament representing the Omoro County constituency, Omoro District, Acholi Sub-region in the Uganda's northern region. He was born in the then Gulu district on the 23rd of March 1965 to Nathan Lokori and Karen Atwon. He attended St. Joseph's College Laibi, Dr. Obote College Boroboro and Kololo Senior Secondary School for his O-level and A-level education. In 1988, he joined Makerere University, the oldest university in the East African community, where he studied agricultural economics. He graduated in 1991 with a Bachelor of Arts in that subject. That same year, he entered law school, also at Makerere University, graduating in 1994 with a Bachelor of Laws degree. He served as Speaker of the university's Student Guild during his stay at Makerere. In 1995, he attended the Law Development Center, LDC, where he obtained a postgraduate diploma in legal practice. Following his graduation from the LDC, Olanya worked as a lecturer at the center. During the same time frame, he began private law practice at the law firm of Olanya, Honoria, and Company Advocates. In 2001, he entered politics by successfully contesting for the parliamentary seat of Omoro County, the then Gulu district under the no-party system, also known as the movement political system. He was, however, a card holder of the Uganda People's Congress, UPC. He also participated in the peace talks between the government of Uganda and the Lord's Resistance Army rebels. In 2006, standing as a UPC candidate, he lost his re-election bid. In July 2006, he quit the UPC and joined the ruling National Resistance Movement, NRM. In 2008, he served as a chairperson of the Commission of Inquiry into the controversial sub-lease of Kiseka Market, one of the municipal markets in the city of Kampala. In March 2011, Olanya was elected to represent Omoro County, then in Gulu District, in the 9th Parliament, this time on the NRM ticket. He was elected as the Deputy Speaker of Parliament on the 19th of May 2011. On the 13th of July 2019, Olanya was awarded an honorary doctorate of divinity by Zoe Life Theological College, USA, and acquired the title Doctor, enabling him to be called Right Honorable Dr. Jacob L. Olanya. Until currently, he has been the National Speaker of Parliament, sitting on the following parliamentary committees: Appointments Committee. The committee reviews all cabinet appointments by the President and may approve or reject an appointment.
Now, Jacob Olanya will be remembered as an eloquent speaker and a man of principle. His speeches were quite the inspiration for many public speakers and set the bar for debate. Let's take a look at Olanya's memorable quotes.
I remember when I joined Parliament, the 7th Parliament, my induction took 2 weeks. And where was it? In the Chamber of Parliament. And who was presiding? The former Speaker, the immediate former Speaker, James Wafahabulo. He sat in the Speaker's chair and blew open to us the rules of procedure and practices of Parliament, both here and the broader Commonwealth, how we get things done properly. I was there with Honorable Katuntu and a few others. Many of us paid attention and concentrated in what James Wafahabulo was telling us, and we turned out the way we did.
I'm just living my life. I'm a biker, so I love bikes. I've been missing them, but now the traffic is not too bad, so.
The ball is not the regime. A focus on the regime is an out of focus, it's a wrong focus. The focus must be on the country and the people. There's a widening gap between legislatures and the people. Our duty is to bridge that gap. The bridge has decayed, the nails have collapsed, the concrete has dissolved.
media has been awash with various theories about the medical condition of the Right Honorable Speaker, which are not true. I strongly disagree and actually condemn such irresponsible conduct from the people concerned of this divided and untrue publication of information that is not correct.
Every member of parliament has rights equal to any other member of parliament. It does not matter that that member is in the minority. It does not matter that member is in the majority. It doesn't even matter which region that member comes from. Every member has rights equal to any other member in this house. So you accord that member that right, that respect. Whatever is accorded to any member of parliament must be accorded to each one of them without any segregation. When we are going to talk about how you pick people to speak, respect that.
Probably the members of not necessarily don't know that to press a button.
Now, religious leaders led by the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, have joined hundreds of Ugandans to mourn the fallen Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah. In the Archbishop's words, Oulanyah has died at a time when the country needed him the most.
We are losing him at a time when we needed him. This is a man we all knew as one who wanted definitely justice, who always wanted peace, was a peacemaker. I knew Jacob Oulanyah as a person who wanted dialogue, who wanted people to be together, who wanted harmony, and his commitment to the church and also to the country.
Sadness, we've learned of the death of the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah. We wish to extend our sympathies to the head of state and all arms of government on the demise of the Speaker of Parliament. We pray to the Almighty God to rest his soul in peace.
A speaker that has been a speaker. Indeed, he has been a speaker. Many of us, like members of Parliament who have just joined Parliament, we have learned a lot. He's a speaker that has given us an opportunity to express ourselves on the floor of Parliament. He's a speaker that was really doing anything possible in the mandate of law. Right Honorable Oulanyah did not do anything outside the law. He is a speaker that always kept time. 10 minutes to 2 o'clock, he's already in the House. And he adjourns the House when matters are extremely exhausted.
A highly respected person, selfless speaker, and one who is devoted to the causes of the people. We are saddened by the death of Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah, and all the prayers that to the family, to the friends, to strengthen and for them to find comfort and to strengthen each other in this very hard and trying moment.
On behalf of the Busoga Parliamentary Caucus and the people of Busoga, I want to send my very, very, very sincere condolences. First, His Excellency the President, to the government of Uganda, to the people of Uganda in particular, and above all, to the Parliament of Uganda for this very gross loss.
Well, we'll now turn to social media for a look at the different messages coming through since the news of Jacob Oulanyah's passing broke online with a tweet from the President's official handle. Patrick Oboy Muriat tweeted, "I have learnt of the death of the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Jacob Oulanyah Lokori. I mourn with beg your pardon. I mourn with and convey my condolences to fellow Ugandans, his family and friends upon this sad occurrence. Go well, comrade of many years. Moving on, Chief of Chizere tweeted, I send sincere and heartfelt condolences to the family of Honorable Jacob Olanya. Please know that we shall keep you in our thoughts and prayers, for I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us. That was a quote from Romans 8:18 and Matthias Mpuga. It is with great sadness that I received the news of the passing of the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Jacob Olanya. Deepest condolences to his family, friends, the parliamentary fraternity, the people of Omoro and NRM, that he served as Vice Chairman for Northern Uganda. And Presidential hopeful Bobby Wine tweeted as well, I join the people of Uganda in mourning the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Jacob Lokori Olanya. On behalf of the new party and on my own behalf, I extend deep condolences to his family, friends, the people of Acholi Sub-region and all Ugandans. May his soul rest in peace. Mr. Frank Tumwebeze tweeted, oh no, Right Honourable OJ is gone. What a sad moment. We all believed he could pull through this. A hero, a gentleman, a strong brain and a Pan-Africanist has gone. I feel bad. My sister Right Honourable Anita Among and fellow colleagues of the Parliament fraternity, let us be strong. He encouraged, and former Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga tweeted, at this trying time, I send sincere condolences to the children, the mother and other members of the Right Honourable Olanya's family, as well as friends and relatives. The NRM party, the Parliament and the country have lost a key leader. Condolences to His Excellency, the President of Uganda. And from the Defence spokesperson, Modver/UPDF joins the rest of the country. His Excellency the President, the Parliament, family and friends in mourning the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Jacob Olanya. He will be remembered for his candid leadership and bravery. Fare thee well, the icon of peace, unity and reconciliation. Now, those were just some of the social media tweets that came through in respect to the death of Jacob Olanya. Now, the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Act, Section D, actually does provide 4 guidelines on funeral arrangements for a Speaker and Deputy Speaker who die while in office. We'll take a look at what is provided for. So a person who dies while holding the office of Speaker or Deputy Speaker shall be accorded a state funeral, and 30% of the gross annual salary of the Speaker or Deputy Speaker shall be used towards the funeral expenses. An official statement about the death of the Speaker or Deputy shall be made on television, radio, print media and other electronic media. Now, we saw that happen earlier this morning. Government shall declare a mourning period and martial music shall be played on national radio during the mourning period. National flags shall be flown at half-mast during the mourning period, and the casket shall be draped in the national flag. The casket cortege shall be escorted by the Uganda Police Force in top roof flashlight vehicles. That is what is provided for. And a couple of more provisions. The casket shall be carried by ceremonially uniformed pallbearers from the Uganda Police Force. The body shall lie in state for 1 day for public viewing, and a condolence book shall be opened for signing by political leaders, dignitaries and the public. An official guard shall keep vigil, and a bright light shall light the casket throughout the night. Parliament shall pay tribute to the Speaker or Deputy Speaker with a band in attendance playing dirges, and a funeral service shall be held in honour of the late Speaker or Deputy Speaker in a place of worship or in a place designated by Cabinet. Point number 15, the casket shall be transported to the burial place by a hearse, and a public holiday shall be declared on the day of burial. in accordance with the Public Holidays Act, and at the burial there shall be a 17-gun salute. So all these will be expected. NBS Live at 9 takes a break and returns with more news.
Yes, girl, it's time to say yes. Say yes to the new look of confident mornings, of standing out of the crowd. Say yes to
looking good
and feeling great too in 3 simple steps. Relax, set, glow. With the new look Radiant Relaxer infused with argan oil and aloe vera ingredients that gives you stronger, silkier, thicker hair. Radiant, look good, feel great.
Radiant is a brand of Morbid products.
This will take a lot of time. Mom, how did you finish so fast?
It's because Omo removes tough stains faster.
When your children get stains fast, you need a detergent that takes them out faster. Omo removes tough stains faster. Now in a new bottle with the same taste and same positive energy. Available in a 320 ml PET bottle. Rock Boom, feel the positive energy.
Your favorite margarine brand has 2 variants, Blue Band Original and Blue Band Spread. Here's how to use them best. The Blue Band Original tub has a deep blue lid and the Blue Band Spread tub has a light blue lid. Blue Band Original is a higher fat multi-purpose formulation that can be used in diverse cooking applications, including spreading, cooking, baking, basting, frying, or topping for extra flavor and nutrition. It is fortified with 6 good start vitamins, as well as omega-3 and 6. The Blue Band Spread, on the other hand, is only for spreading and not recommended for cooking due to lower fat and higher water content. It is also made with high-quality vegetable oils and is fortified with 6 essential good start vitamins. All Blue Band products are manufactured under high-quality standards and approved by the Kenya Bureau of Standards. For more information and inquiries, connect with us via our social media platforms or contact us on our consumer care line.
Angela? Yes, Mommy.
What did you wish for?
I want to be a pilot.
Want you to fly so high in the sky. And when shall we make her have more realistic dreams?
We don't kill dreams, we build on them.
'Cause you're a star, dreams come dreams come true. For me, Mama, I thought our dreams would change. I don't want to disappoint my cousin again.
These little things we do today take us one step closer.
Whether all you have is just a dream, we are ready to walk that journey with you until it's your reality. With us, you're one step closer to achieving your dream. Stanbic Bank, it can be.
Enjoy convenience today with Airtel Money School Pay. Dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Select option 2, school pay. Select option 1, pay fees. Enter student number. Enter the amount. Enter the PIN number to complete payment. Beep
Start the back-to-school hustle today. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Where does it come from? That thing that makes us Ugandan. That thing that makes us different from everybody else. Where does it grow infinitely? Some say it's in our history, in our culture, and in our hearts, in our warm smiles and vast miles of coffee, dairy farmland, and amazing maize fields. It's in our inherent pursuit to always be better, to never stop growing and glowing. So you see, we are more than just a waving flag. We are a nation of sweat and skills, a nation of ideas and inventions. But what truly makes us Ugandan is our quest to improve the quality of life for Ugandans by creating sustainable jobs, businesses, and improving household incomes. That's what makes us Uganda Development Bank. Uganda Development Bank. Inspiring development. Up next. Brought to you by with the same taste and same positive energy. Available in a 320 ml PET bottle. Rock Boom. Feel the positive energy. Brought to you by
Skilling Ugandans and developing competencies required in the oil and gas sector, partnering with Ugandan businesses to achieve greatness.
We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
As we turn to business, the State Minister for Environment, Beatrice Anywa, has decried the underfunding in the ministry, which is failing the ministry, which is preventing the ministry from traversing the country to curb environment degradation. Anywa made the remarks during the launch of the 5th Annual Water Week under the theme Water and Environment for Peace and Social Economic Transformation of Uganda. We have the details.
An exhibition showing some of the environmental saving equipment and technology were displayed as the Minister of Water launched the 5th Annual Water Week, presided over by the Vice President Jessica Lupo at the Ministry offices in Luzira. It is during this launch that the State Minister for Environment, Beatrice Anywa, declared the law funding to her ministry.
Right now we have 183 police officers for the whole country. We needed at least 600. We don't have them, Your Excellency. Our humble plea is that we should have these funds increased to us to enable us recruit our rangers.
Anywa added that some of the enforcement officers also attend to parallel orders from above, which affects their effectiveness.
Some of these police officers have orders from above. We have a challenge. These are two main things that I present to you, Your Excellency, on behalf of this ministry.
In her speech, the Vice President, retired Major Jessica Lupo, pledged to support all efforts intended to serve the environment.
There is no doubt that water and environment resources will be key in the implementation of the parish development model that was launched last month.
Lupo also reiterated the government commitment to save water bodies and the environment.
The NRM manifesto further commits government to protect and preserve the country's ecosystems with a view of utilizing these resources for nature-based tourism, environment and climate mitigation.
Development partners have, however, cautioned government to embrace technology to manage challenges resulting from climatic change.
Somebody said Uganda is not short of policies and programs, and therefore how do we make sure that the policies at hand, whether it's through the NDP 3 process, whether it's the climate policy, whether it's the ecosystem policies, I think we need to move beyond the rhetoric into implementation.
These natural resources have been challenged in the last 20 years by growing population and rapid urbanization.
Haki Wampamba, Josephine Namakumbi, NBS Live at 9.
And that will be shortly before we get into our panel.
And that brings us to the end of NBS Live at 9 tonight. I am Rukshana Namayimba Chitaka, and I had Michael Jagwe signing the bulletin tonight. Up next is NBS Score with Web Daniel Sabachiji. Good night.
There have always been hard times, but these days are harder than most. Everyone is hurting. Everyone needs help. But some among us are asking the question, what if we didn't have to go through life's hardest moments alone? What if we were in it together? And just by asking that question, he changed my son's life. Created an online crowdfunding platform for Ugandans to help raise money for each other.
Thank you, Nixon, for helping me.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you, or call or SMS 162. Airtel, the smartphone network. Brought to you by
Focus. Take a chance on your dream.
We've got the biggest jackpots in Africa. This advertisement is brought to you by BetPark.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's another Sunday yet again to talk sport. My name is Web Daniel Sabachije. Always a pleasure to be here to talk sport. For 1 hour, we are going to be talking just that now. In the past 1 week, so much has happened in the world of sport, and it's only right that we get to talk about this, and that's why Bet Power does power us to make sure this show comes your way. And it's about the time you call everyone you do care about and tell them someone quite rare on TV is in the house. He will be joining me today for the entire 1 hour of the show. I'll be blessed to be having Mr. Michael Mukula here. He is a rally driver. First of all, he's his own man, but I cannot, of course, you cannot mention a Michael Mukula and you don't mention the dad, Mr. Captain Mike Mukula. Well, good to have you on the show, Michael. First of all, to our viewers, we were hoping to have Captain Mike Mukula on the show, but because of what happened earlier, the death of the Right Honorable Speaker, who apparently has been his long-time friend, he couldn't, make it here. But well, when you have the son in the house, well, who is also a rally driver, well, sure, you just can't complain. But maybe just, it's what's in the house. I mean, the late speaker now, a close friend of your dad. Had you met him personally?
Yeah, I personally met him a couple of times. A very humble man, very productive, and it's very sad what has happened so far. Yes.
Sadly, may he so rest in peace. But later on the show, we'll be joined by the FIFA president, Mr. Moses Magogo, to pay his eulogies to the speaker, because Magogo has been given leave of parliament to draft a sports bill, and he has a lot to talk about the man and what role he had in ensuring that sport in Uganda does grow, and even him drafting the bill, he had a contribution to make towards that. But let's get proper into the Michael Mukula discussion, and I'm going to be challenged switching names from Mike to Michael, but it's all the same. Let's get proper into what the shirt you're putting on, MRT, the Mukula rally team.
Yes.
So, like father, like son, they say,
yes.
You are a rally driver, your dad was a rally driver. Tell us about your passion for rally and how it all started.
My passion for rally runs really deep, and it's in the blood. It started from my father, in particular, and he nicknamed me actually Apap, which is the sound of anti-lag.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the sound of a rally car is what my nickname is at home. So I think he basically builds the aspect of rally into me every day. And from a young age, I watched him compete. He used to drive a Celica GT4 165. It was a Group A car. The champion that won in that car was Carlos Sainz. So he had a similar car.
Celicas in those years,
yes, it was something else.
Real deal.
Yes. The type of cars they used to drive at the time were very exciting. I mean, compared to ours are toys compared to theirs.
Well, interesting. So you get introduced to rally, and you somehow get a passion for it. Did you ever think you would become a rally driver eventually?
I stubbornly believed I would become a rally driver. It's always been a dream of mine, and lucky enough, I had a very supportive cast. My family, my friends, my wife. Even times when I doubted myself, they always encouraged me. So when I finally got the car, I got so much support, so much overwhelming support, and even fellow drivers. I remember a time Sevuguzi, I met him at Deshu's wedding. Deshu is also a former rally driver, and also a mentor of mine at some point. And Sevuguzi is actually one who inspired me. He told me, Mike, get this done, just get it done, get the right car, get comfortable, and just get it done. And here I am.
And speaking of the right car, you zeroed down on the Subaru N4. That's the car you're bossing right now. Tell us about that car. What makes it the right car for you?
Well, it's a beautiful car. It's a Subaru N12 Pro Drive, N12B Pro Drive. A similar car like that was driven by Just Mangat, and he drove it to, I believe, 2 championships.
Yeah.
So it's a car that has its pedigree. It can actually be a championship winning car. I got the car actually from Eric Bengi, who is a good personal friend of mine.
The Kenyan.
The Kenyan, yes.
Yeah.
And he also did wonders in the car. So it was only fitting that I followed in his footsteps, and I went for the car. And ever since I got the car, I can't say that I've been disappointed.
And of course, you're competing in the CRC. With that car, you must be bossing it for fun.
Yeah, we're in the CRC. As a category, we only do 60% of the races. So we don't typically do 100.
Yeah.
So most times when people see us not finish the race, it's not because we didn't finish, but that's actually, the category doesn't demand that you do 100% of the race. So in the race that it is, it's described for basically newcomers and some people who actually want to participate in that category. So right now in this classification, we're actually racing against some seasoned people and some newcomers. And the field is actually very competitive. It's very good cars. Yeah.
And you tested it in Jinja, recently concluded Kaliro Rally.
Yes.
You were there. How was it?
Kaliro Rally was good.
Was that your first major event?
It wasn't my first major event. My first event, it didn't go too well. It didn't go according to plan. We found ourselves more on the roof.
But people loved it.
Yeah, people
had fans for you.
Yes. We were, Captain has a slogan. My father has a slogan. He says, no retreat, no surrender. Backwards never, forward ever. And it's a routine he's taught us. And so each time we had an accident, from the first section we rolled, we got the car back on its feet, and we drove it to the end of the section. The next section, we entered the water splash, pulled it out, came back on the road and drove. And the third section, where unfortunately it was our end, we rolled again. But we were moving quick. That time I underestimated the conditions. I was still young. I was in the game that time and inexperienced. So yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, but fans do love drivers who roll the cars. I will tell you, I think one of the reasons why Chikankane is one of the most popular drivers is because of his daring approach. And I think you roll because you probably get to a point in a corner. I was telling someone Chikankane is the kind of driver who will get to a corner where he has got to slow down and he will just step on the accelerator and go faster. And that's how we roll. So are you that kind of driver? Daring driver?
No, roll is a combination of many things. Many things that go wrong. It's a combination of many things that go wrong. So to roll, first of all, you need speed.
Yeah.
The poor corner approach. Chikankane, he's the current champion, and he's actually the gentleman who actually helped me race this time around. If it wasn't for his contribution, I wouldn't have been in the race that we won. So, but for him having the escapade that he had, I think maybe he could have given the car that he recently got. He got a Ford Proto some more time. But who am I to say? I mean, when I saw him drive, he was doing exceptional. Yeah, I mean, what he was doing in that car was bravery. So yeah, of course something caught him off guard, but it doesn't take anything away from his skill. He's exceptional. He's exceptional in his way.
Yeah, and of course now you're a rally driver. What are your ambitions now? Do you want to win some point win the Pearl of Africa rally? You want to go Africa? And what's your plan?
Yes, of course, we want to win the Pearl of Africa rally. Yeah, our aspirations are to go all for it. Of course, we shall be patient. We shall learn the sport. We shall be very patient with ourselves. We shall seek all kinds of advice, because we always get advice from different drivers and different people have been involved in the sport. So this is not my first sport. Of course, it's basketball. That was my first love.
And we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But my aspirations are to go for the CRC championship. The other aspirations are to eventually go for the NRC, and then eventually want to go for the ARC, the African Rally Championship. So our aspirations are big. We want to go for it, and we're not being patient about it. We shall go for everything.
Wow, I like the confidence and aggression you've got. Remember, the Pearl of Africa Rally, by the way, will be happening in May. It will be the next main event happening with FMU, and of course, as Next Media, we're proud to say we'll be bringing that to you live as it comes here on Sanyuka TV and on the Afro-Mobile app. But you're a son of a businessman.
Yes.
There's no secret about that. And it seems you guys are beginning to get the interest in Ugandan sport that perhaps was not so much, seen back then. Rajiv, for example, as well, is a rally driver now. But I wonder how you think you can help rally in Uganda be commercialized, because I recently learned that Uganda is ranked number 3 in the world in terms of countries that have got massive support for rally. That's behind Portugal and Argentina. How do we commercialize that now? I'm now trying to pick your business mind.
My business mind. Yes, we do come from a business family. Commercializing the rally, I would mostly say we need the help of the federation. We need the federation to find ways of channeling the interest of not only the sponsors but the fans. Largely the sport is centered around safety. As much as you're there to have fun, you have to be safe. So it would be a really big match for the federation to focus on safety. But in terms of commercializing, I would actually advocate for sponsors to get more involved. We have countries like Kenya, where the fan base is not even as big as ours. And I would probably think our fan base is probably bigger. It's only that we can't quantify it. But when you look at something like Kenya had KCB that managed to sponsor rally events for almost 10 years. And that endeavor, however undermined you may look at it, it actually managed to channel KCB to becoming the #1 bank in Kenya. And it was a strategic move that they did. They did so because they understood that the individuals involved in the sport, these were businessmen. This is a man who takes his time to spend extravagant amounts of money to have fun and to compete with fellow businessmen. Each and every rally driver is a businessman of some sort, and you have to pay them their respect. So simply having these people within your banking institution and having their businesses function within your institute, I think it will generate a lot of income for you. I mean, if you just speak from a banking perspective, leave alone the fact that there are fans who are loyal to these people. Yeah, because when you have an event that is scheduled up country, and let's say scheduled in Mbarara, if you have a fan who is loyal to a driver, per se, let's say Total sponsors MRT. If you have Total sponsoring MRT, along the route to Mbarara, there is commercial evidence that happens along that route. So as people make their way, they will most likely stop at Total as their allegiance to their team. So there's a way people need to look at this. There's a way you can commercialize this. With us coming in, you can look at it from different sectors. I mean, there's so many ways you can bring it in, because it's a platform of so many different eyes that are available to you. And it's a place where you can deliver a message, because people never remember what you did for them. They remember how you made them feel. And in a rally, we always give them memories. So these are memories they're attached to. So where is a sponsor when you're creating this memory, where's that sponsor? It would be wise to be along Kankanika, along an MRT, along a Rajiv, as a sponsor. I know that the memory that is being attached to this person, people can remember. If I say Charlie Reda, I'm sure you remember Total and Celso.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, but that's because of the memory you attach to Charlie Reda. Yes, so that's how I see the sponsor coming.
Amazing, and of course, that's where now I think the dilemma is for the federation that runs the sport. But it's baby steps, we shall get there. How do we make money? And of course, with people like Liz joining, and of course, resurrecting the passion that has always been there for the sport, and joining now actively, it can only get better. Right now, you're a rally driver, but let's go back a bit to where you did talk basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, you played basketball. You
yes,
played for, people might not know that you played for City Oilers when this team was coming in the top flight back in 2013.
Yes.
You are part of that story. Tell us about your journey in basketball, and why you still look young. Why did you retire so young?
Thank you. I'm young, but thank you so much. But I wouldn't say the body is young. The body eventually takes its toll. I love the sport. I still have so much love for it. It's a sport I pay homage to. My humble beginning started from basketball. My character was shaped by basketball because we get so much knowledge, so much understanding from basketball. Yes, we participated with City Oil. I was also involved with Kawoja Senior Secondary School.
Oh,
yes.
That's where it all began.
That's where it all began. That's where we started breaking hearts. So yes, we were the Kawoja school that dominated for the time that we were. Later on, we were scattered around. Some of the places maybe we ended up were in places like City Oil. We helped to spearhead the rise of City Oil. It started from a Division 3 perspective to Division 2 to Division 1, and by doing so, I believe maybe through Haji recognizing some of the brilliance that were there, the fabric was created, and that fabric has led to their dominance to this day, because I believe they just understood the aspect of winning. The entire team, the management, everything is perfect. So in so doing, they've been able to dominate. I was also involved with Warriors. For a year, but later on I retired.
To concentrate on speed and touch.
Yes.
What position were you playing when you were still?
I was playing shooting guard. I was known more for my shooting and rebounding. So I was playing shooting guard, and then later on I would play. Sometimes I'll play point guard, sometimes I'll play shooting small forward. Yes, I was involved mostly in shooting guard.
You must have been one of the smartest on court, because point guards and shooting guards are always, the guys who think for the team.
Yeah. You try to look your best, but they say when your game is hot, usually it's in the shoes. So you try your best to look good, because it kind of gives you that confidence, it gives you that ump. But when you're playing the game, you can park your car there, you can have your nice sneakers, but at the end of the day, it's what you're doing on court that counts.
That matters.
Yeah, that's what counts. That's where the results come from.
Yeah. Well, interesting. And of course, across borders, you support the Lakers?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah, I support the Lakers. I was in Los Angeles, California for some time. I was a Laker by heart, and rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I followed Kobe Bryant's career. I actually didn't like him in the beginning, but as time went and I stayed in LA, I came to respect him, and I got to understand his mindset, because in Los Angeles you tend to follow particular individuals, so you get to understand who they are. So the more I got to understand him, the more I understood his struggles and how he was doing everything. So I fell in love with the Los Angeles Lakers, and ironically, my favorite player right now is LeBron James.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's at odds with your passion. If you fell in love with Kobe and your favorite player is
LeBron James, then he came along, he joined the Lakers, and
that's interesting though. But did you ever get put on the Kobe's, the famous Kobe's?
No, I didn't put on the Kobe's. I didn't put on the Kobe's. I was ironic in Kobe's era. I was a Vince Carter fanatic, so I loved dunking. I loved shooting. I was not a Kobe fan until I got to LA. But the shoes I wore at the time were the Jordans and the Nike. But of course, now that's all in the past.
it's all in the past. But what is also in the past, this the near past, is that JKL, both the men and women today in the National Basketball League were able to win their games. The men beat Victoria University, whereas the ladies did make easy work or light work of the Magic Stormers. Both games were live on Uganda's home of sport, Sanyuka TV and the Afro mobile app. When you played basketball, it was never on TV, and right now it is on TV. Of course, Sanyuka, one of our brands here, does broadcast the very highlights of the league that was live today. What opportunities do you feel these players can get from having, a TV broadcasting these games? You live in the area and you know what TV does in basketball.
Well, media in that aspect is extremely powerful. I mean, it's the easiest way to broadcast someone's talent. So, for instance, I can imagine a number of people are watching us right now, but the same thing could happen for a game if it's broadcasted live. So you can always get in touch with different agents. They can watch you live. They can understand you, because when I was in Los Angeles, I tried to actually participate in some of the games that were in Los Angeles, but we found limitation because we don't have any kind of records here in Africa, in Uganda. Someone can't look at your stats. Someone can't gauge the type of person that you are. And in so doing, it's very hard for them to gauge how they can utilize you in their rotation. But when you have media, someone can look at you, they can draw your character, and they can see how you can help. And the beauty about media, it's worldwide. So it's not limited only to Uganda, to Africa. I mean, you're looking at Saudi Arabia, you're looking at Russia, now that they're attacking Ukraine, you're looking at the United States. So media opens up such a big platform for so many people. We just have to find a way of channeling it the right way.
Well, of course, players, that's for you, the younger players who are active. The biggest opportunity you might have now is to have a television broadcasting your games live. We'll take a short break in a bit. When we do return, we continue. Get back to the rally talk because it should be the gist of our discussion. But also, we get to understand how exactly these guys recover these billions they invest in when they buy these cars. How much is the Subaru Impreza?
It's about $50,000.
$50,000. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a bit.
Enjoy longer-lasting freshness with the new king-size Morbid Family Soap, available in 4 exciting flavors, and experience the rich texture of coconut, the natural herbal scent of aloe vera, the tingly sensation of lemon, and the silky smooth feel of rose. Get a fresh start for your family with the new king-size Morbid Family Soap, available in all shops and supermarkets near you. Morbid All-Day Confidence.
Turn up your taste. Choose flavor. With age, drink responsibly. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18.
Welcome. You're currently on NBS Tv Compact. Ready to step up?
Let's do it!
Congratulations! NBS Tv has stepped you up to NBS Tv Premium. Enjoy all your favorite channels, like a boss.
Step up to Kongere with NBS TV. Upgrade your current NBS TV package and we'll step you up to the next higher one at no extra cost. NBS TV Uganda. It's your moment. NBS TV is regulated by UCC. One expert. Enjoy true feelings, a flood of emotions, a rush of adrenaline, the taste of victory, Are you ready? One Expert operates under Advanced Gaming Limited and is licensed and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board. Betting is addictive and can be psychologically harmful, and it is eligible to persons above 25 years of age. Are you a brand looking to make an impact? Looking to grow online? Sign up with us. Strategies, analytics, web or app design. We do the boring stuff so you don't have to. But we do some fun stuff too. Graphics, photography and videography, content videos, activations. It's all work for us and all play for you. Nextcom, making digital work.
NBS The Score, thank you so much for sticking with us. Just to remind you that earlier on today, Manchester City did thump Southampton by 4-1 as they marched on to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Crystal Palace as well did beat up on Everton by 4-0, again to pile more misery on Frank Lampard, a man who was brought in to save Everton, but it seems he's going down as fast as he can because things are not happening. But let's get back to our local sport. Yes, I'm still here with Mike Mukula, or Michael Mukula. Can I call you Junior?
Well, yeah, it's okay.
Okay,
Mike, it's okay.
Okay, Michael Mukula Junior. Of course, we're talking sport. A former basketball player, now a rally driver. How many fans have you recruited so far in the Mukula rally team?
I wouldn't say we have recruited fans.
At least they were so excited when you were rolling the car. That's what they
Yeah, they got excited. They came. They helped us.
Got you back on the road.
They got us back on the road. Yeah, they even celebrated when we were going. Whether they were laughing or celebrating, I don't know.
That's what they want to see. That's why they paid to see cars rolling.
Yeah, they got what they paid for. They got what they paid for. It was an episode. Of course, a roll is something you don't expect and you don't want, but it happens. I mean, like when you fall down 7 times, you get up 8. So this is, unfortunately, these are some of the byproducts of our sport. It's very gruesome. It can even be very dangerous.